All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is June 12th. We got ourselves some Monday MLB action. Happy Monday to everyone out there. Smaller slate, obviously, to go through today. So we're going to jump into each and every game. I'll give you my lean on the games. We'll talk about them, but all my final plays, those will be in the pinned comment, guys. I update anything that we lock in as a final play from today's videos that are all leans in the pinned comment as final plays, and then all my player props that I throw in. So usually we have 1 to 2 player props per day. Those will be in the pinned comment as well. And I also make a YouTube Shorts, TikTok, or Instagram Reels video for those, so you guys can see my rationale and thought process behind it. And I don't just throw out a pick and make you guys, tail blindly if you do want to tail. So keep an eye on the pinned comment for all of that. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as well, as we're racing towards 25,000 subscribers. And I think you guys are going to get us there pretty damn quick. You guys have been crushing it as of late, so thank you very much for that. Thank you very much to that. It's already like 1 minute and I already can't talk, but thank you guys very much for that. Let's go ahead and look at last night. Last night, kind of weird how the math works out. Literally a profit of 0.0 and a loss of 0.0 units yesterday, but we lost the Astros money line, the Rangers run line. I think I missed the X in the recap there, but it was a loss. And then we also lost the Mariners money line. In terms of wins, we had the Athletics and the Brewers over 8. That cashes late in the game. We had the Reds money line, nice little comeback. And then we had John Brebbia under 5.5 strikeouts. You know what? I'm giving myself a cha-ching for that. That was literally on FanDuel's board for maybe 2 minutes. John Brebbia is an opener. He pitched 2 days in a row, pitching like 1 inning, and I saw 5.5 strikeouts, and I was like, huh? How? So we hammered the under. The way that we found that was via the Outlier app as well. You'll hear more about Outlier later on in the video, but guys, I found this pick, jumped to it really quickly, hammered it, and then all of a sudden a few minutes later, gone. So this was kind of a lucky, if you were following the pinned comment, or if you're following me on social media for the TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube Shorts, I posted about this right away. Some people may have hopped on board, but it was not open for that long. But yeah, a little snipe there from our part. Pretty good, easy, no sweat win. But let's go ahead and jump into the first game on today's slate. We have some TBDs here. We don't know who's pitching for the Tigers. We have the money line odds though. Braves on the road at -200, Detroit at +168. This literally just the only line that we have to go off of as of right now. Some books, I think it's a little sparse here. +153 is what we've seen for the Tigers as well. But nonetheless, I don't think that this is anything that's entertaining us today. This Braves team, I do think, is obviously better than Detroit. They're coming off a loss. They're probably going to come in and smoke Detroit today. So -200 isn't really going to entertain me. And then even the run line odds, I doubt they're not out yet, but I doubt they're going to be all that worth compelling or anything like that. So I'm going to stay away from this game. We also don't have a total of this game because we don't know who's pitching for Detroit in this one. Morton's on the mound for the Braves, so we're going to kind of gloss by this one. If there's any final plays on this game, we will go ahead and throw it in the pinned comment. But yeah, a lot of question marks still and information that we do not have as we're recording this really early into the morning. But keep an eye on the pinned comment to see if we pull the trigger on anything in this game. All right, Red Sox taking on the Rockies here. Red Sox getting the win last night in Sunday Night Baseball. By the way, we did an individual Sunday Night Baseball video yesterday, guys. If you didn't check that out, make sure to check out this upcoming week's Sunday Night Baseball. For the next few weeks, we'll see how it goes. A little trial period to see if you guys like it. We're going to be doing an individual video for Sunday Night Baseball. So keep an eye out for that. But the Red Sox get a 3-2 win against the Yankees. Colorado also coming off an impressive win yesterday, 5-4, in which they're +170 favorites. The Red Sox are -230-ish, -250-ish in this game on the money line, and that is just way too much juice for me. So I'm even a Red Sox fan, and I'm saying I don't think I could pull the trigger on that. Even their run line at -1.5 is -130. So by default, I think I'm going to take a peek maybe at Colorado, maybe Colorado +1.5. I don't really trust them altogether, but one pick that could actually hit in this game is I do think the over. This Red Sox team, it's almost like they're just waiting for a high-scoring game to happen. Their scoring output hasn't been all that great. 2 runs, 3 runs, 3 runs, 1 run, and 3 runs in their last 5 games here. But the competition has been kind of tough. They went from Tampa Bay to playing Cleveland, who started to get hot, to playing New York. It's almost like this game against the Rockies here could be a little tune-up for them. And the Rockies, hopefully, they kind of take their scoring like they did yesterday and parlay it into today's game. But Paxton on the mound for the Red Sox and Connor Siebold on the mound for the Rockies. Siebold has actually had some decent starts over the last couple weeks here. Paxton as well. So I think both of them are also due for a not that decent game, if I'm being completely honest. So I like the over 10. I wish it was 9.5, to be completely honest. I wish we got it at 9.5. I believe it opened at 9.5, but nonetheless, we'll still probably consider 10. So keep an eye on the pinned comment for that. But like I said, both these teams have come off kind of I wouldn't say Colorado as much, but coming off, they came off of San Francisco and San Diego, and now the Red Sox coming off of Tampa Bay, Cleveland, and New York. It's almost like, all right, finally we get a slugfest type of a game here where they don't have the talented pitcher. It's not this high-pressure game, that type of thing. I'm hoping for the over here. All right, Cardinals taking on the Giants. Cardinals coming off of losing 2 of 3 against Cincinnati. San Francisco lost 2 of 3 against the Cubs, but looked pretty good yesterday in a 13-3 win. On the mound for the Cardinals is Matthew Liberatore, 1-2 with a 6 flat ERA. Logan Webb on the mound for the Giants. He's 4-6 with a 3.42 ERA. Up until, I would say, last game in which he got no decision, he hadn't been getting all that much run support. Liberatore also just not looking good, so I'm gonna fade the worst pitcher here and back the better pitcher in Logan Webb. Right now, the Giants are -120 over on BetMGM. I think that there's actually some value of seeing that as a heavier line on some other sports books, more like -130. So if you see this early and want to jump on San Francisco, you have some value over on BetMGM. And we saw yesterday, a 13-3 win. They came in here, do their job. I wish we pulled the trigger on that. We said in yesterday's video, that's such a San Francisco spot. But yeah, this Cardinals team really isn't proven much to me. Both these teams are inconsistent, but at least San Francisco's stringing some wins together. If they get one win, I think they're going to get a couple here. So look to them to go back-to-back wins here. In terms of the total, 8.5, I think this one goes under. I think Logan Webb is going to keep the St. Louis offense down. Liberatore, yes, he can probably let up a bunch of runs, but San Francisco just had 13 runs scored. Like, I don't think they do that 2 games in a row. So I'm going to lean towards San Francisco as well as the under in this one. All right, guys, like I said, yesterday's player prop we found using Outlier, and I want to show you Outlier right now. We'll just jump into it versus me just showing you the graphic. Outlier is an amazing tool, guys. I came in here and we were sorting by last 10, last 20, who is hitting 100%. You can also throw in minimum odds so you don't have to, look for the ones that are -200. But here you go. Here's a Spencer Steer under 0.5 strikeouts, +110 right now on DraftKings. He's done this 100% of games in his last 5, 90 in his last 10, 70 in his last 20. The only thing that would be weird here is he's only done it 48% of times on the season, but you can click in and even poke around and see how he's been doing. Yeah, the guy just has not been striking out that much. He was in the beginning of the year, but you can see not striking out as much as of late. You can even go over here on the right, which is really, really cool, and say, okay, Cincinnati, and we'll find Steer right here, and then you could say, okay, versus right-handed pitchers, right? How's he pitch face against right-handed pitchers? 287, so he's slightly better against right-handed pitchers than he is left-handed pitchers, and he's no Greinke data there, so this could be a pick for +110 under Spencer Steer strikeouts. Keep an eye on the pin comment, see if we lock that in, but I don't hate that spot whatsoever. And if we did, this is offered on DraftKings. You could see you can either click DraftKings right here, and it's going to open up QR code for you to be able to go to the app, or you can just add it to your picks, and in the bottom right of the screen, you'll see your picks over here. Let's pick DraftKings, and with a click of a button, literally no hands, it's going to open up DraftKings, find that play, and put it in your bet slip without you having to go and dig for it. You can see it is right there now, guys. Outlier is an amazing, amazing tool. I know I tell you guys that all the time, but it truly is. So keep an eye. You see if we pull the trigger on this. But yeah, check out the pinned comment or the description, guys, for this Outlier offer. 7 days of a free trial. Red is bad, green is good. It's an amazing tool, very simple to understand. I've been using it since we started partnering up, and I have not looked back yet. One of my favorite sports betting research tools out there on the market, and they constantly are getting better, guys. Check it out. Use that link in the description or the pinned comment. 7-day free trial. It's $19.99 a month after that. But honestly, guys, I think it's well worth it. But nonetheless, 7 days free trial. Outlier probably doesn't want me to tell you, but like literally, go try it for 7 days. What's the risk in that? And you'll get that value for at least 7 days. The only risk you run doing that little move there is that you're probably going to fall in love with it after 7 days. And you're like, God damn it, Evan, you told me it was just a 7-day thing. Like no strings attached. You'll catch feelings for Outlier if you do check it out. But yeah, guys, go check out Outlier. Do highly recommend it. And I wouldn't just be saying that. You guys should know that by now. But let's keep going here. We are looking at Texas taking on the Angels, which I do think could be a pretty good matchup in this one. Texas -155 right now over on DraftKings. That is the direction we're going to lean in. Dane Dunning looking good to start the year here. 5-1 with a 2.52. Ty Anderson on the mound, 3-1 with a 5.62. I do not like him. I feel like I rag on him in plenty of videos, but he has been pitching well. I can give credit where it is due. We have Dane Dunning, who, like I said, has looked pretty good, but he's had a couple bad starts in a row. Hopefully he gets right against this Angels team. Texas coming off of losing 2 of 3 against their last opponent, but it was Tampa Bay. That is pretty tough team here. They did win that second game here 8-4, and they actually hung in yesterday's game until Tampa Bay opened it up. LA's coming off of actually a really good stretch here. They won their last game against Houston, so they did lose that series 1-3, but still got the last game, kind of carried the momentum into Chicago here, and they won 3 straight there, and then they took 2 of 3 against Seattle. So I do think that, this LA team, sure, they're probably playing better baseball right now, but like, who's the better team? If this Rangers team didn't come off a series against Tampa Bay, they'd be cooking as well. You know what I mean? So though there's value in the Angels, and I can admit it, I do think the play here is still paying a little bit of juice for Texas on the money line. And then we're looking at a total of 9.5. I think Texas is going to put up a big spot here. 4 runs yesterday. I think that they bounced back in a decent way. Last time, when they scored was 3 runs in game 1 against Tampa Bay. They came back with an 8 spot here. I think that this is obviously a really good offense, and they haven't had one of those explosive games in a while where they go out there and score, 12 runs, or like they did against Seattle. Was it 12 runs, 16 runs back to back? Like, maybe they do go out there and do something like that today, but I do like them carrying the weight of the scoring as well. All right, Royals taking on Cincinnati. Greinke on the mound for the Royals. Luke Weaver on the mound for the Reds. Kansas City, they're -120 over on FanDuel as of right now. I know I have -110 on the graphic here, but they've even moved even heavier as favorites. You know what I say? I have this whole little what do we call it? Thought process, a strategy. It's not even a strategy at this point, but if Kansas City is such heavily favorites, I'm just gonna lean the other way. I hate betting Kansas City games because either the team is underdogs for a reason that they're going up against, which is a little sketchy, or they're -200 type of thing. And this Reds team, yes, they've been looking all right. They took 2 of 3 against St. Louis. They took 2 of 3 against the Dodgers. I think they won their last game against Milwaukee, if my memory serves me correct. Didn't do much other than that, but yeah, they've been playing decent baseball. They've won 5 of their last 7 games. Now they're going up against Kansas City, but Kansas City is at home. I understand why they're favorites. I just lean towards Cincinnati. And in terms of a total 9 runs, I actually think this one goes under today. I don't think that either one of these offenses are going to totally come to play. Kansas City, their last 5 games, 1 run, 1 run, 2 runs, 1 run, and 3 runs scored. And Cincinnati, barring just one good game in that Cincinnati series, in that St. Louis series, they only scored over 5 runs one time in that game 2 spot. So I do think that this is a good spot for the under. I don't think either pitcher is going to blow up per se, but that's mainly because I don't think the bats are going to totally be there. So I lean towards Cincinnati and the under, but it feels like such a square pick to look at the Reds for plus money against the Royals. So maybe there's some line reading there. And either way, I don't think this becomes a final play. All right, Diamondbacks taking on the Phillies here. Diamondbacks coming off of a series in which they swept Detroit. They beat Detroit. Okay, and then the Phillies coming off of actually a series that I could give them credit for, because you know why? They went and swept Detroit, and then they won 2 of 3 against the Dodgers. You know what's really cool though? Also, Arizona coming off of 2, I guess a mini sweep and then a sweep. They take 2 against Washington and then 3 against Detroit. Prior to the Dodgers series for Phillies, guess what they did? They beat Washington twice and they beat Detroit 3 times. So just wanted to throw out the little cool fun fact there, but it's almost like anything you can do, I can do better here, and that's what I like to see here. We have Phillies at even money on DraftKings right now, and that is going to be the side that we lean into here. Henry on the mound for the Diamondbacks. He's 3-1 with a 4.37 ERA. Matt Strahm on the mound for the Phillies, 3-3 with a 3.61 ERA. It's not like either of these pitchers are kind of, I wouldn't say either of these pitchers are totally influencing my decision. Strahm is one of those opener type guys anyway, so yeah, he hasn't let up many runs. Last start, he had, a 0 whip, 0 earned runs, only 2 innings pitched, so I don't want to give too much credit there, but Henry's coming off a pretty bad start, 4 1/3 pitched, 5 earned runs, almost a 2 whip with 2 Ks. So I'm trusting that he carries that bad momentum into today's game, and we can get some even money wins for the Phillies, who have quietly won 7 of their last 8 games here. In terms of the total, 10 runs, I think this one's going to stick under there. Like I said, I do think that Strahm is going to go out there and open the game well, but that Phillies bullpen, I think they can hopefully keep this team down. They looked pretty good against the Dodgers, so I like this spot here in terms of what we're seeing. There's one game in that 3-game series where the Phillies kind of blew up. They lost 9-0. Okay, if you're going to beat me hard, right? Other than that, they only let up 4 runs and then 3 runs in their 2 wins, so I like the under here as well. I had 2 more games on the slate. Do not kill me, but I am going to talk to you guys about another thing you should go and sign up for. This time it's going to be Jock Market. I talked about it in yesterday's video, and I mean it, guys. This is my go-to player props app, the DFS apps that are really popular right now. Prize Picks is no longer like my go-to option. Yes, it's very easy to use, but so is Jock Market. Jock Market just has the value, and like I told you guys in yesterday's video, usually when you're looking at these, content creators, and if they throw out a pick, all of a sudden you go to Prize Picks and that line has moved or it's been removed completely from the site. Well, Jock Market's very slow to do so. They have better lines, in some cases better payouts as well, and a lot of cool features over on Jock Market. So go check it out, guys. 100% of your first deposit is going to be matched, so it's an absolute no-brainer anyways. And you can go over there and throw 2 to 5 player props into a slip, and if the more you get right, the more you win. It's pretty simple, guys, and if you haven't checked it out, I highly encourage you to do so. And again, that link's going to be in the description as well as the pinned comment. It is my go-to. I throw it out on TikTok, Instagram, as well as our YouTube Shorts here all the time now, because it is my predominant favorite DFS player prop app that I've been using as of late. So make sure to check that out. All the other ones that I have access to and a deal with are in the description as well. So it kind of should show you as to why I'm promoting Jock Market right now, because it is my favorite as of right now. So make sure to go check that out. Obviously, if you use that link, it directly supports me as well. So it's a great way for you to get something on your end, but also support me at the same time. Go check it out if you are a player prop type of guy or girl. Jock Market is your stop. Go check it out. Link in the description as well as the pinned comment. We are looking at, for our next game, the Oakland Athletics, who are puzzling right now, taking on the Tampa Bay Rays, who are just a good team. But the A's, coming off of 5 straight wins, they take 2 of 3 against Pittsburgh, and then they sweep Milwaukee without even looking back. Like, Milwaukee made that a game yesterday. Oakland was in the driver's seat, honestly. Tampa Bay coming off of, obviously, they're playing really good baseball. They're back to it. They've won 8 of their last 10 games here. They've won 8, actually, of their last 9, to be honest. They took 2 of 3 against the Texas Rangers. Now, minus 260 is just a little bit too much to drop, if you're looking at Texas here on the money line. And then the even run line, I don't really love them at minus 155 for minus 1.5, with how, I hate to say it, how good Oakland's been. Now, Oakland, again, the strength of schedule hasn't necessarily been there. Milwaukee has the name, but isn't really performing like the team you'd think they'd be right now. So I don't want to give too much credit to Oakland, but nonetheless, they're kind of surprising people. So I think I'm sticking away from the Texas side of this, if I'm being completely honest. I am going to take a peek at the over 8.5, because the Oakland A's have been cashing their overs, and we know Tampa Bay can go off and score a bunch of runs. So my only true lean in this game is going to be over 8.5. It's kind of funny because I'm not even saying like Tampa Bay is a good parlay piece, which is obviously like something I say a lot of the times about these big favorites, because it's usually true, but I don't know if it's that true in this spot. Now, if any team were to kind of, okay, hey, A's, get back down here, get back down to earth, it's probably going to be this Tampa Bay team, but still a little questionable. I do think that there's going to be a lot of runs scored, at least from the Tampa Bay side of things. James Kaprielian on the mound for the A's, 1-6 with a 7.21 ERA. Looked good in his last start, but that was probably only maybe his only good start of the season. Eflin on the mound for Tampa Bay. They've won in all 3 of his last 3 starts, and he's gotten 2 wins in those. He's coming off of a start in which he's 7 2/3 pitched, 0 earned runs, a .6 whip, and 9 Ks. So if the A's can get 3 runs off of this Tampa Bay team, I'll be happy, because I do think Tampa Bay is going to score a bunch. All right, Mariners taking on the Marlins. Bryce Miller on the mound for the Mariners, 3-3 with a 4.46 ERA, and then Jesus Luzardo on the mound for the Marlins. He's 5-4 with a 3.79 ERA. I do think that this is a good spot for the Mariners here at home. Miami's coming off of taking 2 of 3 against the White Sox. They've actually won 8 of their last 10, but their competition is yikes. Oakland, okay, they sweep. Then they sweep Kansas City, and then they beat Chicago, which even Chicago, I don't think ain't all that great, right? Seattle's had a much harder run of it here. Yankees, Texas, San Diego, and then the Angels in the last series. I think they're waiting for a team that, is not to say more on their level, but a team that they are able to, kind of control the game with. So I'm going to lean towards the Mariners in this one at minus 130. The Marlins have the better record. I get it. You could make the argument they have the better pitcher today. I get it. But I do like the Mariners at home. I think that this is a get-right spot for them. Do I think they win this series? I wouldn't necessarily say this. This Marlins team is playing good baseball, but if there's ever going to be a time where I feel like the Marlins drop one and Seattle kind of gets the train back on the tracks, I do think it is game one. And then we're looking at a total of 7.5 runs. I actually like the under here. I think that this is going to be a low-scoring affair. I wouldn't say either of these offenses are absolutely rocking and rolling. They have been up and down. I'm thinking it's going to be type of a down spot for them. Two decent pitchers on the mound as well. Like I said, the only caveat to decent pitchers, I would say, is Bryce Miller. Like, don't even go look at his last 2 starts. Like, they might make you throw up and have to call out sick of work, which may be a good thing, guys. But yeah, 2 terrible starts. I think it's a get right spot for him just because the offenses that he had to go against, Yankees and then Texas, like, yeah, 2 bad starts, but against 2 excusable offenses in the sense, like, yeah, okay, it's okay, buddy. Your worst 2 starts of the season came against a New York team at the time was dropping double digits like it was the grandma's business, and then Texas in one of those double digit games as well. So I get it, they were on, and it might not necessarily be his fault. So enough rambling here. I am going to lean towards the under. I think both pitchers kind of come to play today, and I also like the Mariners. And guys, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. If you did like it, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We'll catch you guys in the next video, right? Peace out.